Yo, everybody, what is up? It's Tuesday night. You know where it's at. It's Flyers Talk A2D. Talking Flyers, as per usual, hence the name. We're going to do live reactions of the Columbus game, which is tied up at 1-1 right now, fairly early into the third period, hitting that midway point. We're also going to be talking about essentially the weekend that was. Obviously, elephant in the room, Carter Gauthier's return. We're also going to talk about that fantastic comeback from last night against the Florida Panthers. So much going on tonight. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share if you're on one of those platforms that can share. And let's go talk some puck.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Flyers Talk A2D right here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sidsudi along with the Darkwing, Brian Daly.
Hey, Maddie's back.
By the way, apparently where Brian lives, there's 2-3s. So, a little bit off my conversation there. Anyway. And down below is Mr. Blue Shirt, Mr. Broadway, Mr. Switzerland, Big Bad Brad Ryer. How's it going, gentlemen?
Very good.
Good. And we are brought to you by, as always, Specialized Physical Therapy. If you got any aches and pains, hit up the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, and you can make an appointment with him at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Then visit one of his teams over in Cherry Hill or Burlington, New Jersey. He's got great staff in both locations. After a couple of sessions with them, you will feel as good as new. Those aches and pains will be a thing of the past. So our poll question for today is: the Flyers have set a new standard after that dominant win against the Anaheim Ducks. Agree or disagree? Please go, Brian. Go right ahead.
I'm trying to see how I want to phrase this because I want this to sound as pathetic as possible. Just from my Ducks fandom. No, I absolutely agree with the poll. I think they absolutely set the new standard on what it has to be. And granted, it's not going to happen every night, but when you're playing teams that you need to beat, like the Anaheim Ducks, I know the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are on a bit of a heater lately, coming into this game 4-0 in the last 4 games. You got to beat these teams in the dominant fashion. Flyers have a lot of really good things going on with their roster right now. Do they need help in certain places? Absolutely. But we've seen that this team, when they play a full 60 minutes, is as dominant as any other team in the NHL. And I get it. It's Anaheim. But, that's a team that the Flyers should beat. As good as they've been playing lately. They just got whooped 6-2 by St. Louis. Then they come into Philadelphia and get whooped 6-0. For the Flyers, power play was really good. Penalty kill was pretty outstanding. 5-on-5, they were unstoppable 5-on-5. They were everywhere they needed to be. They were in passing lanes. They were down in the dirty areas. They were hitting. That was what this team absolutely needs to be moving forward. Like I said, that's the standard now. We've seen it. We know they can do it. Anything less, I think, is just at this point is a disappointment. And when they do have a clunker, which they will, every team does at some point, it's going to probably look a little bit worse after that.
So let's see here. Heather saying, I agree, Brian. So agree. Benny's was saying, it's a young team who is inconsistent, so I think we will continue to see these ups and downs. Yeah. Although the way he wrote it, it looks like AI thinks they will continue to see those ups and downs.
No,
just saying.
Yo, and Benny, you're spot on. This is still a rebuilding team. This is still, there's still a lot of development that needs to happen. And like I said, there's still pieces that need to be moved and brought in. But when you see that and you see that 60-minute effort and what this team can do, it makes it really hard, or at least for me, it makes it a little bit harder watching any effort that is not up to that par.
Meanwhile, Fedotov made an amazing save,
That
keeping.
backhand shot was
Yeah,
labeled for the upper corner.
it was. Fedotov stretched out, managed to get that save in his glove. Although I would put quotes around stretched out. He is a big guy after all.
You don't have to
So
stretch that far.
yeah, he didn't have to stretch out that much. But all the same, it is still 1-1 in the third period,
Hey,
round 12:30.
when you can reach up with your glove when you're on the ground, make a save like that. That's saying something.
Yeah. So let's see here. Got Priz here saying Cutter Gauthier would be the best player in Game 8 of a playoff series with how he scored 2 goals after the game he circled his calendar for.
What's funny, about that comment is not how accurate it is. That's the second time he did that this year. When Flyers
It's 2-1, by the way. I hate to interrupt, but the Flyers have just scored.
Nice.
Cutter had 2 points tonight after playing the Flyers in Anaheim. So it's a trend.
Wow, I just saw the goal.
that
That's yeah, that was Tippett. And you know what's funny? The shot doesn't look all that threatening. It just gets by Tarasov.
Maybe it was deflected.
It might have been. I think there was a D-man
Maybe it
standing
looked
in
like
front of
maybe it
him.
went off the guy's skate. Yeah, it did.
Okay, so
Went
then
off
that
the
would
defenseman's
explain it.
skate.
Okay, then that would explain it. Because it didn't look threatening on the
No,
regular
I mean
angle.
that would have been a pretty routine save, but when it goes off the defenseman's skate,
Yeah,
stays on and stays on net, then those are going to go in more often than not. Hey, shoot the puck.
right. You never know. Benny's saying, "Oh, I'll take it," but that's a bad goal.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
I'll take it too.
Oh
Anthony
yeah.
said, "What's
they all
up?
count.
What's up, Anthony?" Saying score. And Swoopy's here saying, "Good evening to my favorite boys. I loved y'all. Thanks for always cheering me on and making my day. Love this show. And all you guys bring. Robbie, you are on that list too. Thank you, Swoopy. Appreciate that, brother."
Probably better be. He's a part of this show too. He's been part of the show longer than I have.
Guys, I gotta disagree. By the way, with the with the poll. The only reason
Okay.
I disagree is because I think they set a new standard coming back twice. I should say 3 times last night against the Panthers, who are the Stanley Cup champions. I'm more impressed with that than beating down the Ducks, who've been absolutely a dreadful hockey team for the last week and a half. No offense, Bry.
They've actually been really good until they hit St. Louis.
Well, they've been giving up a lot of goals lately, though. That's the problem. And
Young defense.
yeah, look, they got the same inconsistency issues too. But let's be honest. Coming back from A, you came back 2-0. B, you took a stupid penalty and Florida scored. So what did you do? You came right back when they took a stupid penalty and you scored. And then they took yet another stupid penalty and Florida scored again. And what did you do? You scored again. And then you had an even strength goal, which was a beauty, and you held on and won the game. And the way you guys hung on in the third period, in the last minute, you very proud of yourselves. The way they dumped the puck in, and then they forecheck, kept the puck in the corner, wouldn't let the Panthers get out of their zone, couldn't pull the goaltender. Very impressive. That I thought that to me was the standard. I mean, you know, you're going to have games where when you're playing a bad team, you're absolutely going to crush them. And Anaheim looked completely intimidated by the Flyers. That was a shameful game for Anaheim. And I'll tell you something about Cutter Gauthier.
Rub it in.
Okay, I as far as I'm concerned, the man should be playing basketball. He's a complete wuss. Okay, when Travis Konechny started threatening him, he should have dropped his gloves right there and flattened them, or attempted to, because you know what? Now he's going to be labeled a coward, and now everybody's going to know that you can get under his skin. And even if he lost the fight, he'd still have Ross Johnstone out there. He'd still have Fabry out there to beat the crap out of Konechny when he came out of the penalty box. I mean, you had nothing to lose except to get a lot of respect from everybody. You got to go out there, and sometimes you have to take a little bit of a beating to prove a point. And he wasn't willing to do that. I think that's a real bad sign, because now you can see that he's going to be playing chicken hockey for his career until he actually does something like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's
Come on, he should have tried. He should have at least tried to knock Konechny on his ass. Okay, the way you get rid of bullies is even if you have to throw a cheap shot punch and cold cock him, you got to do what you got to do, and that'll stop it. That'll absolutely stop it. And there will be no more of that. And then he'll let the whole league know you're not going to get under my skin. But no, he backs down. And actually, I mean, he kind of reminded me more of Ben Simmons. That was a Ben Simmons move. Ben Simmons was a hockey player. He would have done the same thing. And looked like he was. I mean, he looked like when Konechny said, "I'm going to fight you," he looked like he was going to poop in his pants. I mean, it was ridiculous. You can't be like that.
Heather's asking, can I ask a random question? Where do you all like to buy your jerseys? Depends, really. Depends on what one you're going for, honestly. If you're going for a jersey that's a little bit more available, but you want a certain type, sometimes you got to go to some other places instead of just the regular, like, NHL authentic websites, because sometimes they just don't have them anymore. Other times you can go to eBay. Of course, that's hit or miss. Depends on who you're getting it from.
You get your $30.
I like the flea. I kind of like the flea market.
Flea markets too. Yes, you can do.
You go to the
there.
flea market. You get to see. Yeah, you get to see the jerseys, and some of them are the real thing, and you can get them cheap.
Sometimes, that is true. That is
you can get the real deal. You can get the real deal for like $50.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're not going to get them for 20 or 30 like those fake ones on eBay. Okay, but you can get one for like $50 if you went to, let's say, not Berlin. Is it Berlin? No. Which one is it? Columbus. You go to the Columbus flea market in the spring. You'll find jerseys. It's hit or miss who you'll find, but you'll find original jerseys for like $40. I got a couple of really nice Eli Manning jerseys, a Beckham jersey from there. I got my Ranger jersey that you see me wear occasionally from there. It's hit or miss, but again, that cheap is cheap, and if you want to save money and get what looks like the real thing, could be the real thing, that never hurts to try.
Well, I promise you something. If you're getting a jersey for 30, 40, $50, there's nothing about that's real. But there are some really good looking ones out there that you would probably think are close to real.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen some $30 ones that look absolutely dreadful.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
I've seen $30 ones where people get them in from China. Names are misspelled. The numbers are backwards. Numbers are upside down.
Or the numbers are all the way up on the top of the collar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get what you pay for when you're paying 30, 40, $50 for a jersey. Yeah, they're definitely hit or miss, but the misses are really, really bad.
Yeah, but at least if you go there in person, okay, as opposed to like getting them on eBay or something like that.
No, for sure.
If you're going there in person, at least you can look at it, you can try it on, make sure it fits, and you can get a good look at it to make sure like it's not going to tear the second you wash it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I totally agree with you, Bri. But
I'm just bougie.
Huh?
I'm just bougie.
Yeah.
I'll pay the $250, $260 for a real jersey.
Benny said, I saw a dreadful one that had the name Hayes on the back of it, and that had to be a fraud.
All right, that's a good one. I like that one. I've
What's up, Mike?
I've gone a very long time with not spending at least $200 for a jersey.
And
I
That's
did
why
get a
I
Roger
laugh.
Bear jersey from Jerry Cosby's. That was, that's the one that was the one that used to be at Madison Square Garden. Paid $175 for it.
That's different though.
Well,
That's
Joe's
something
saying
special.
Yeah.
the Fanatics has a monopoly on online jersey sales, and they are horrible. Brick and
Mhm.
mortar is the way to go, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not. I'm not trying to plug any other people that aren't paying us to do it, but coolhockey.com is where I go. Coming out of Toronto. There's a company that's all they do. Hand stitched, pre-stitched. I always get hand stitched.
Chris.
Oh boy, here we go.
With all that Sex in the City money, you better be wearing high-end sweaters.
That's the first Sarah Jessica Parker joke that somebody made since Brodo was producing for us.
I know it's been a minute, so I
It's
had to
been
highlight
a long
it.
time. That's funny.
Had to highlight
Well
that
done,
one.
Chris. I forgot about that.
Oh man. All right, so Swoopy saying when Flyers play good teams, even if they come away with a win, most of the games they are being outplayed. They will have lots of trouble exiting the zone and controlling the puck. And he says to you, Bri, I have even seen you post about it during games when the Flyers play good teams.
Tell you what, last night, Tortorella did a nice job having them adjust in the second period.
I agree with you on that one, but I love how Bri was just on the no sell. Just flat out no sold that Swoopy one right there.
What'd I do?
He literally mentions you in the comment. He just says, Brian, I have even seen you post about it during games when the Flyers play good teams, and then there's the silence, the no sell on it.
Oh my
That
bad.
was classic.
I'm Flyers run the power play, so I'm trying to pay attention.
I got you.
It was just a Dallas game. I made a comment that Dallas was just out skating them. That's really the only comment I made. That's all I said.
We got Old City Sports Network. What's up, guys? How you doing out there? He says, we see what you're doing here, Brian. Good luck with everything you guys are doing with A2D.
Wait, what am I doing?
You know what you're doing. You know. It's all your fault. You know that.
Wait, what did I do?
I love how it's just, I think I'm liking these guys already. They're blaming Bri for something. It's good.
I'm not sure what happened there, but
anyway, what else we got here? We got Mike saying, when will Fedotov get time in the net again? Well,
we are tied at 2, gentlemen.
Well, funny you should mention that. He's in the net now, and unfortunately, it is now a tied hockey game.
That was a 2-on-1. Bad giveaway.
Of course. There's plenty of those this year.
No chance for Fedotov.
Werenski's second goal of the evening.
I'll tell you what, Werenski is really playing some great hockey this year.
He has
what a beautiful pass. I mean, that was a saucer pass, and he put it right in his wheelhouse.
And does anyone here want to give a slight little bit of a nod or of recognition to the Columbus Blue Jackets for putting together a pretty damn solid first half, being in a playoff spot by this time of the year?
Yep.
I mean, let's give it to them because, yeah, we knew they had young players and young talent, but at the same time,
they've had some quality wins, though.
They have, and you have to give them credit. This is a team that's relatively young for the most part. They're
missing probably their best player, Chinnikov, too.
And yet they're rattling off wins, and they're still managing to stay in a playoff. So you know what? I got to give it up to them for that. Like, you know what? That's impressive. That's impressive from them
They're
this
not.
first half of the year.
They're no joke anymore. If you go in there and you think you're just going to walk in there and get 2 points without giving proper effort, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. And even if you put up a good effort, you can't afford to make dumb plays in your own zone like the one that was just made. Actually, that was more or less that was a center ice that they kind of made that play, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Rob, you are absolutely 100% correct. You got to bury one on that power play. Unfortunately, the Flyers have a habit of disappointing us on the power play. It's a shame, too, because the power play started off the season and was doing pretty good, and now it's kind of gone back to its old habits of not.
Although it was brilliant, it was absolutely brilliant last night, though.
Yeah, it's a shame that the inconsistency, unfortunately, has plagued the power play once again this particular season, but it is what it is.
No, for
I'll tell
sure.
you what, that one goal that I think it was the third goal that they scored, where
I think so.
Mitch Kopp was standing on the right side of the net, and he took a pass that was a little bit behind the net, and he was able to kind of center it right in front. I forgot who it was able to slam it home. I mean, boy, that was a beautiful pass. The hockey awareness of that guy is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Ranger fan, as you all know, and for me I notice stuff like that. It's such high hockey IQ. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and to build off of what you were saying, Maddie, about the power play being inconsistent, a lot of that stemming from Tippett not being able to put the puck in the back of the net consistently this year. Farabee's doing whatever it is that he does. He hasn't been scoring like he has last year. Frost has been inconsistent. When your guys aren't scoring that you have on the power play that need to score, yeah, your power play is going to struggle for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Mike's saying right now the number 2 wildcard spot is between the Flyers and the Sens at the current moment. Another team that you kind of give a nod to is the Sens.
And the Wings have played a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's about time, right? It's like, come on, boys. You were the ones out of everybody in the Atlantic. It's like you're the ones that should have been making this threat a long time ago.
Well, they finally got rid of that crybaby coach that they had, Lalonde, and got a real guy in there.
It takes a minute.
I'll say what I've been saying for like the last couple of years with Detroit. Let Casa play. Let Casa play. And I agree. Todd McClellan was a great hire for Detroit and starting to show.
Yep.
Let Casa play. Stop bringing in Band-Aids and let the kid take over.
They should.
And that's for Ottawa. Ottawa's
Hughes is not the answer. Ottawa's got a little problem though with what's his name, the goaltender being out.
They'll be all right. They're playing really well under Travis Green's system right now, so it could be okay for the meantime.
Meanwhile,
Mike not too long.
Mike also says, who thought that Calgary wouldn't be playing this good, especially with a young rookie goaltender in Wool? To be fair, though, Wool played in Toronto, and he actually was probably Wolf would probably be. Yeah, I think Wolf.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking he's talking about Wolf.
Yeah,
it's gotta be a typo.
Yeah, because Wool's in Toronto, and I would argue he's not that bad of a goaltender. Wool is.
I just want who was the guy the other night that was brave enough to fight Olivier? I give that guy a lot of gonads for having the bravery to go in there and go after that guy because Olivier
from Toronto,
he might be the best fighter in the league now.
He's definitely got the most. He's got 9.
Yeah, he is one tough guy, man.
Joe's saying I need this game to end in regulation so I can switch over to my Gators and watch them beat Arkansas.
What's up, Joe? I didn't see you in the chat, man.
Don's here somewhere too, so give a little shout out to him. His Wings are playing better.
My boys are starting to play better too, guys. Don't count them out. They woke up.
there's still the whole second half to go. So I mean, it's not exactly like we're done. It's just and there have been weirder stories. There's been plenty of teams that have had abysmal first halves, just absolute dog shit
You
first
got it. You got
halves.
to. You got to give it to my boys though. What were they? 3-17.
Yeah,
That's about as abysmal as you can get.
yeah. But on the back end, though, on the second half, as they say, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. If they come in
St. Louis won
strong
the
and they have
Stanley Cup in a similar situation, and
exactly.
Edmonton was just horrible last year at the beginning of the season.
07.
I said the same thing 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however long it was ago. I said, don't count them out. The season's not over yet.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah,
You were
And I
right.
use the same comparison. Look at St. Louis. They were last in the league in 2019.
Bennington.
And look at how they finished.
Bennington shows up
They
and all
just
of a sudden
were so
injected
bad.
new life
They
into
were so
them.
bad defensively, though, Brian. I
understand, but you were saying this in December.
Yeah, I know. But when you're that bad,
You just got to the halfway point.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
it's hard
hockey
to
left.
turn it around, but
all my point.
yeah, no, you.
Let's see, Joe
When
saying
you're right, you're right.
And me,
Joe
I'm
saying
usually right. I'm just kidding.
Flyer saying Flyers got to jump like 4 people to get in playoff position and have games in hand on no one. And what are you talking about? Well, it's still early. So again, it's all a matter of, it's how you start, it's how you finish. So again, it's still very early. So no panicking.
I mean, they better at
I'm
least get a
panicking.
point tonight.
What are you talking about? It's the perfect time to panic. Ducks got shut out again, second time in 3 games.
And Mike's saying, don't sleep on Montreal. No, definitely don't sleep on Montreal. They got that fire in them. They got that fire, that passion in them. Those young pups up there, man. They like to play hard and they like to score.
Luke Hudson? Yes, Luke Hudson. What a freaking stud. What a stud he is as a two-way player, more offensive-minded, but holy crap, can the kid play defense? And can he really help a power play? Wow.
Lenny Robinson saying Olivier toughest in the league. He also
What's up,
says
I'm with him.
had Rempe debating being an enforcer the other night, beat the brakes off him.
Oh, he killed Rempe. I agree with you. I mean, but Rempe should know better than to be fighting a guy like that.
Well, let's see here. Priz saying Detroit got a prospect goalie that's got a pretty good chance of being better than Kasha.
Yeah, it's a kid who was supposed to be the backup in juniors. He wound up being the starter. The kid was just outstanding.
So we got about 6.7 seconds from what I'm seeing, although you might be ahead of me, Brad, of it being 2-2. So we might be getting ready to head to overtime.
Holy crap, we're tied up, Maddie. We're actually in sync.
I know, right? Ain't
Wow.
this weird?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Don't say anything.
Blue
Don't
Jackets
say anything.
Just missed.
Oh boy. Well, don't
see
say
it now?
anything, Brad.
Yeah, don't be a spoiler sport.
Don't spoil, Brad. We're about to catch it.
Oh, wow.
And I just saw that. Yeah. Whew. Wow.
Fedotov came out and cut down the angle and gave him nothing, but boy, they gave him a good look.
Holy
He
crap.
did.
Freaking Nick Sheeler with another damn block.
I mean, look
Is he
where
doing
he
anything else?
look where he got that shot from.
I agree, Mike. San Jose will be scary once they finish their rebuild. But
Ooh.
yeah, that's a good solid save right there from Fedotov. Like you said, just coming in there, cutting down that angle.
He
That
cut down the
was
angle on the
way
first
too
shot
good.
and the
That's way
rebound.
too good a look.
Yes, in the rebound.
He did a good job hugging the post on the rebound.
Yes,
He did. He did. He sealed that better than Leighton ever did. So,
Oh, now we're gonna pick on Leighton.
But Michael
come
Leighton got
on.
to the Stanley Cup final.
He did, but also Fedotov's a rookie, so we can't throw that too far.
Touche.
Well, that's actually
Touche.
two game-saving saves that he's now made tonight.
Right.
He's
In the
the
third
thing
period.
that I'll tell you right now, like the one thing that I like about this kid is he has an old school style to him. What goalie do you see right now that sacks the pads like Fedotov does?
None.
Now, nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Like this
used to be the more he kind of looks like Brodeur. He has the same style as Brodeur.
it's so nostalgic.
Don't you think?
Well,
That was how
between
Brodeur used to do that, and then he used to do the crab where he drag
Brodeur.
his leg.
I always
Hasek.
feel
Yep,
They all
Mahashik
did
was
it.
the king of the crab move.
I always thought that when Brodeur stacked the
I thought it
pads, he
was
was
going
just
somewhere
showing
else.
off. I don't think I literally swear every time Brodeur used to do that, he used to just show off. It's like you could have made the save without doing that. You just wanted to be a dick right now and just show everybody, hey, this is how good a goalie I am. It's like, just
Yeah,
another
well, yeah.
another thing to hate about the Devils back then. But it is what it is.
Well, you could hate them now too.
Oh well,
Yeah.
there's plenty of reasons to always
Yeah,
hate the
Jack-
Devils.
like
There's
Jack
never no
Hughes.
reason.
Jack Hughes running his mouth about the Rangers, and then he goes and he gives the puck away at overtime, and they score the winning goal.
Well, that's why you don't say shit
Yeah.
because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, 'cause you know what? The good Lord knows who needs to be put in their place, and
Yeah.
he needed to get put in his place.
You know what else the good Lord knows? The good Lord knows to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those notifications wherever you go to get your content from A2D Radio, Flyers Talk A2D, Eagles Talk A2D, whatever you like talking about, listening to. We're there. So hit that like, hit that subscribe.
All right.
Listen to some blessed sports talk.
So we've just gotten to me and Bri have just gotten to the start of overtime here.
We did?
Okay, and I'm at 4:15. So what am I at? Like 40 seconds ahead of you?
About that.
All
So
right, I'll shut up from now on.
okay.
If you want, I could just cut you off the screen.
Oh, God.
Just until overtime's over.
Or just kill the camera.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
we
I
don't
can just
see
be like,
That's harsh.
I wouldn't actually do that. I would do it in that fun nature.
Well, let's see here. We'll run the net. Good. I was trying to set it up here. Blue Jackets are doing
Take
it.
your time. Like,
Yeah. They should take their time. I feel like the
Yeah,
Flyers
boy.
are trying to rush it. Oh, no.
ooh.
Ooh, good save. Good save right there. Yeah, the Flyers were rushing it there, and the Blue Jackets are doing a good job of just stealing them off.
Okay.
Now, let's
Good
see
idea. Get the
here.
change.
The key to these
Get the change.
overtimes is to not give up the odd man rushes. Most games are determined in overtime on odd man rushes.
Pretty much. I mean, they're very easy to pull off when you do 3-on-3.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, it's all about possession. As long as you maintain possession of the puck, you're okay. But the problem is it's so easy to lose possession of the puck, too, on 3-on-3.
Yeah, possession
yeah.
and speed. This is
And
See, what I hate about this stuff is though, if they don't have the shot, they just take the puck and put it out of the zone and roll and then roll back in again.
well. That's
Right.
actually what I like about it. It puts a little strategy into overtime instead of just.
Oh yeah,
And at this point, like at the 2:45 mark, like where me and Maddie are, it's you could sit on the puck and hold it for that 2:45 and really take advantage of that and lock a team in.
And let's see here. Chance in on the zone. Shot! Oh, that one. That was a rough angle anyway. I don't know if there was really much there to shoot at.
Who's got it? Frosty there. Ooh.
That one right up in the chest, it looked like there. And now the Blue Jackets have got possession.
Who's Brink out with? Is that Frost?
It looks like it. Oh, there's a shot. Great save by Fedotov. That one was actually pretty scary there. And trying to roll it around. Okay, it looks like he is going to find Risto. Risto's just going to carry it back there.
Flyers doing a good job with puck possession.
Yeah, they're not really trying to force anything. They're just trying to be careful with it because they almost got caught when they tried to do that earlier.
They've had the puck just about the whole overtime.
Yeah, but earlier on in the beginning of the overtime, they were trying to force it, and then the Blue Jackets almost took it right back down.
They've been hanging on to the puck, waiting for the Blue Jackets to make a mistake.
Nope, they didn't call it.
Yeah, that did look a little fishy up there.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a hook.
Yeah, just a slight one, but yeah, enough to cause problems.
But we're in the last minute of overtime now.
Why is Mishkov playing on the checking line? Just because Tortorella's just constantly keeping things moving. It's probably the best way to answer that. trying to find guys who are gelling just like the who is it, Forrester, Brink, and Kate's line.
Not ignoring you guys, by the way. We still love you, fam. We're right into this game right now.
Other than goaltenders.
Yeah,
Oh, I have no idea. The guys that are in the farm system right now, they're not NHL goaltenders. As for Bjarnason and Zavrigan, I have no idea. I haven't
Oh,
been
he
paying
tried to
attention.
center it. Damn, that would have been great if he had gotten that
2 on
center.
1.
Oh
Go
boy,
via
oh
cross.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, good, Binners. Good disrupt. Good job, good job.
We are going to the shootout, gentlemen.
Oh boy. Shootout. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I hate shootouts.
Well, don't we all?
That's how these guys are looking. You guys can look up their stats.
Not that we mind looking up their
No,
stats.
you guys have done okay with shootouts.
Yeah, I mean Lachenko, Barkey, Bonk, like I don't get OHL hockey, so I have no idea how they're playing.
Heather's like my heart. Yeah, I could understand. And then she throws out the shootout.
I'm pretty calm, cool, and collected. I don't know about anybody else.
And Pris saying, quick question. What did y'all think of the Flyers' atmosphere in the game against the Ducks? Is there any realistic chance the fans respond like that every night in the near future? There's always a chance. I would say there's plenty of opportunities for the Flyers to get the crowd
It's a
rising
long
up.
season. The regular
Right.
season is a long season.
Yeah.
So how do I want to answer this? Definitely once a year, for sure. Every time he comes around, until he explains to everybody what happened with that situation.
Right. Because he did say, like, I made the best decision for what was for me. It's like, well, what was it? Like, did someone insult you? Like, what was it that made you so convinced that Philly was not the fit for you? It's just,
I can tell you what it was. He's a big Sidney Crosby fan, and he didn't want to be in a place where everybody says Crosby sucks all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
I
think he's that. He's a big Penguin fan.
Yeah, but that's really stupid of a reason.
I know, but you know what? Some of these guys aren't.
Mike
Richter
grew up a Flyers fan,
simple.
but he played his ass off for the Rangers. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
No, most of these guys don't root for the teams that they're on.
Know, but you never know. Some of these, maybe this guy's a little,
No, I'll get. I know where you're going with that, and I'm going to agree with you. But I'm going to agree with you for a different reason. I think that his biggest issue was, and we've talked about this verbatim, pretty much since it's happened.
First
he didn't get a chance on the NHL roster.
Damn.
That's it.
Yeah, that too.
I'll be honest. I saw somebody's comment. I think it was Mike's. Somebody was asking how Cutter's been doing, and then he's not NHL ready. He's just not. He's playing well enough, but he's not NHL ready.
That is an awesome mask that Tarasov has, by the way.
Oh, it's killer.
Yeah.
Wow,
TK,
watch this goal by Konechny on the shootout.
Oh, I love that. He just made him look stupid.
Yes, he did.
That was nice.
That was beautiful. Here comes the rookie Fantilli.
Nope,
I'm not going to tell you what happened.
That's a no goal.
You can wait.
That didn't score. Brad, that didn't score, Brad.
That wasn't a goal?
No, that bounced off the post and went out.
Well,
must have hit the bottom of the crossbar.
It would have scored, unfortunately.
Oh, it says 1-0. My bad. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
You're fired.
I mean,
yeah,
but
I don't have the broadcaster telling me what's going on.
To be fair, that would have scored had it not been just that one unlucky bounce off the crossbar.
I thought when it hit when it went down, it was in.
It looked like it. From the angle, it looked like it went in. All right, Michkov's up.
What a move!
Yeah, he made a great save on that.
Yeah, good poke check in there. Damn.
I was gonna say,
now the Blue Jackets have a chance to put it away. I won't say anything.
All right. And
Oh,
that wasn't.
I don't even think the Columbus goaltender touched it. I think he just lost the
No,
handle.
he did. I think the puck started flipping on him there on that one, and
Mm-hmm.
just lost control over it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
This kid's good too. Kirill Marchenko. He's a stud.
Marchenko rolling in up on
Ooh.
Fedotov, and oh
It's all
my
right.
God. Oh my lord! Wow, he made Fedotov look like a jackass on that one. Whoo, boy!
That's all right. It's all right. They got a point out of it. They
They
got a point
did.
out of
He
it.
just came off. He just came off 3 games in 4 nights.
No. That's fine. It's
It's not that easy, you know.
Getting
No,
5
yeah.
points in that span
Yeah,
against
that's
2 of them against the Stanley Cup champs.
Yeah.
all the
against
time.
the Stanley Cup champs.
Every
Yeah.
all the
Point
time.
against a red hot hockey team who's now won 5 in a row.
I'm not complaining. It just the way that Marchenko scored, it made Fedotov look so bad.
Yeah, but why do you think they have Marchenko in the 3 hole?
Oh yeah, it makes total sense why you do that.
Yeah,
He went for a modified version of the Forsberg too.
Pretty
that
much.
was a great
nice.
move.
And this is a hot team right now too, boys. So let's keep that in mind. Columbus has been playing really, really good hockey of late, and like I said, they came into this game 4-0 in their last 4. They were red hot on the power play. They had like 50. They were like 56% on the power play or something like that heading into this game. Giving up 2 goals, which is I'm pretty sure where they finished. Scoring 4 in that span on average. So this is not so much a surprise for me, especially coming off a back-to-back. This is
3
and
and
then you
4
traveled?
nights, and then you got 4 and 6 nights because you got a game Thursday. I forgot who it's against, but I think you have
I think
another game
it's-
Thursday, right?
Yeah, who did they play on Thursday?
So that's going to be 4 games to 6. That's brutal.
Yeah, this is a tough part of the NHL. I got the Islanders in New York. And that's the other thing, too. They traveled from Philly to
huge game.
Columbus. So,
Yeah, that's a huge game for the Islanders.
It's a little bit of a travel. You got to go through Pennsylvania and then into Ohio.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
all right, give him a penalty shot. Benny's right.
Wait, are we in the penalty? Don't you bring up logic in this. We're giving him another penalty shot.
Mhm.
Now take it.
Mhm. You upended him. You tripped him on the breakaway.
Even though it's already a shootout.
They never said it couldn't be called against the goalie.
No, that's true.
I'm
That's
just saying.
true.
Just saying.
That's true. All right, so let's see here. Benny's saying, can they call the penalty? And then Swoopy saying, I think Cutter kept looking at the Flyers saying it's a rebuild, but they seem to play and show otherwise. No true plan, although they say they want to focus on rebuild. At least in his eyes, it came across that way. Or possibly the NHL playing him to a player telling him not to play under Torts. Again, all that was rumor and BS with the certain NHL player telling him not to play under Tortorella. Besides that, though, I don't know. If he really felt that the Flyers didn't have a plan, then I would argue and say, like, yeah, if they didn't have a plan, though, why is it that it seems Danny and Jonesy are not making all these blockbuster crazy trades and trying to hotshot their way in? Because that to me says you don't have a plan. You're just trying to plug holes and put band-aids on to try and keep things going. That to me showed the no plan. Whereas I feel like, sure, it's tough watching a team have to go through its growing pains, but there are talented players that we've seen. I mean, hell, getting Michkov seems to be like the first big step forward as we continue this process. So I don't know. I mean, in the response, if that's what Cutter's thinking, I don't necessarily agree with that opinion. But hey, it's his opinion. He's got a right to it, just as much as anybody has a right to theirs. So
Tommy, it's just like JJ and Bush said Saturday night after the game. The truth is out there. He hasn't given it to us. Just give us the truth.
Right.
But it's fine because, honestly, like I said, watching him in Anaheim, don't think he's quite ready for the NHL game yet. I think he needs a year or 2 in the AHL. He looks good in spurts. I also don't think they have the right coach to utilize his skill. The games that he scores and the games that he scores multiple points in are games where he's able to utilize his speed. He can't do it every night. I think he needs time in the AHL for that. And you know what? I'll be honest. Flyers are better off without him, and not just for everything that's happened off the ice. It's look at the way the culture is in the locker room right now. These guys genuinely enjoy being around each other. They, and if you've ever played hockey, you understand hockey is a brotherhood. You play for the boys in the locker room with you. He doesn't seem like the type that he wants to do that. You see Mitchkov, right? You see Mike. Mike's out on the ice. He's playing for people. He's playing for the guys on his line with him. The guys are playing for him. Even if he starts a scrum, the guys are coming in after him to protect him. Even the hit on Sanheim early, which I honestly thought should have been a penalty, on Sanheim just towards the end of the second period. Good hit, just late, in my opinion. But anyway, TK stepping up. Like these guys are willing to go to. These guys are willing to go to battle for each other. That's huge. I think if Carter's in this locker room right now, I don't think this locker room's in this position right now. And because of how the culture is in the locker room, they're showing it on the ice. They are playing a much better all-around game. Some hiccups here and there, but that's rebuilding hockey. You're going to have your ups and downs, but the ups seem to be coming more than the downs lately.
It's true. We got Edward Chamberlain saying it seems like a rebuild. They're playing hard but can't close the game. I mean, they are playing hard, and that's something that we can all agree on, that they bust their ass when they go out there on the ice, and that's something to appreciate. They do have trouble closing out games. They've had a lot of trouble with that this year. There's a lot of times they play from behind, but then when they have the lead, they blow it. So it's been unfortunate that that's been a reoccurring theme for them this year. But again, it is a rebuild. And
but they also have, I think, 7 come from behind wins, right?
Well, they've had no choice. They've had no choice many times.
Ooh, pick me. I know the answer. Pick me. Me.
Only if you're sitting silently with a calm body.
Yes, Mr. Sensuti.
Mr. Daly.
A lot of it, Ed, is rookie goalies. Guys who just, last year they had Carter Hart with Sam Erison, and that's a calming presence because it's a guy who's been there in that situation before. Erison had some issues closing out games last year, especially the year before. We're seeing that a little bit this year. Little bit tougher for Erison to be able to correlate some of what Carter taught him into these guys because of a language barrier. A little bit harder to talk to them, communicate. But I think that's the big reason why they're having a little bit of issue closing out games this year is with the rookie goaltenders and just guys not being used to being in that situation at the NHL level, playing with some of the absolute best of the best in the game. It can be very just the pressure is just sometimes it can get to you. You give up one really good shot, come up with a huge save. Defense gives away a couple pucks and bring a couple posts. You can get rattled that way.
That's true. SJM, what's up, brother? He's saying, what up, fam? To Prism's question, I know you guys touched on it. As long as the Sixers continue to be an absolute shit show, the Flyers faithful will grow and strengthen exponentially. What I always find sad about that is, why can't we have both? Why can't you be a fan of both? Don't get me wrong. I'm, support both. You know what I mean? I get it. It can be frustrating to support a team that's not playing well, but come on, support your Philadelphia teams all the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a basketball guy, but if the Sixers were in the playoffs, I would want them to win. I want them to win not just for the guys here, but for everybody at the end of the day. Yeah, sure, wouldn't mind seeing the Sixers win. I know Brad probably wouldn't really care for it, but,
I can say the same thing about the Knicks all these years.
Right.
I mean, the last couple of years have been pretty good, but I mean, the 18 before that were pretty freaking bad.
Right. Let's see here. Prism saying Crosby, as talented as he is, cried way too much. If he didn't cry 80% of what he did, he'd be respectable.
He is a crybaby.
Yeah. Prism
Yeah.
also saying going to 2 different arenas is expensive. That is true. By the way, they did announce that new arena that they're planning in South Philly for both the Flyers and the Sixers, which is interesting.
Seems soon.
Right? I mean, the Well's only been
31?
around. Yeah.
31 years. Like
Yeah. I don't
well,
know.
no, it's a little older than that, but still, like
Still,
it was built in the 90s, and they just put how much money into it?
right? They renovated it too and everything.
So
Like,
What do they not have enough skyboxes or something?
right? It's like how many
Is
more
that
seats
is that
do you
the
need?
problem?
that's
Right?
probably the deal they came up with was like, listen, we can't give you Center City, but we can give both you guys a new arena, which makes me curious on one, where they're going to put it. 2, I still want to know why. The Wells Fargo Center is not that old.
No, not really.
No, it's a little strange.
I mean, hell, I think the Spectrum was older when the Flyers exited the Spectrum and went to the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, Spectrum was built in the 70s.
I think the 60s. It was the
60s?
60s. Yeah, because the Flyers came in the 60s.
Right. You're right. Spot on. They came in the 60s, so the Spectrum was built in the 60s.
Yeah, it
And
was built in
then
the 60s. Yeah.
they imploded it
In
2005.
No,
Four?
not 2005 or 4. It was, I think, a little later than that. I think it was like, I think it was 2013? I think it lasted a while, the Spectrum, because the Phantoms moved to Adirondack for that short period of time over in New York, and no one was happy with that decision.
13 years ago. If
Wow.
that's even the same Spectrum. In 2010.
Okay, so yeah, it was around that time. Yeah, because like I said, the Phantoms moved to Adirondack. No one was happy with that, and then they moved to Reading, where they still are right today.
That's interesting. I thought that was sooner than that, or I guess earlier than that.
Yeah.
I don't know which way to do it.
Guys, we have
anyway.
some good playoff news, by the way. I just saw some of the scores because I just flipped the Ranger game on. The Kraken came back and beat the Penguins. And the Sharks knocked off the Red Wings.
Nice.
In Detroit.
Goes to show. See, that's the thing. The Sharks team, that they're turning it around slowly but surely. They
can come up and bite you in the ass if you don't show up to a game. They're still not a very good hockey team, but
no.
Again, you better show up against them, because if you don't, they will get up there and bite you in the ass. It's not like last year.
The fun's intended on that too, by the way.
Right.
Yes.
I think
like that.
Well done, Brad.
Thank you.
But I will say too, I think a lot of that is because of the guys that they brought in, kind of lit a fire into the team, and having Celebrini definitely adds a huge motivation, because you've got a young, talented kid, and Will Smith
like
being there
Goodrow.
too. Barclay Goodrow, of course, adds a lot.
And the guy that played for the Devils, Toffoli. I mean, those are two pretty good, solid veterans who will supply plenty of veteran leadership. So
so it adds a lot.
I'm just
there's that.
This out there. I'm just putting this out there. Don, I hope you're listening. Stop starting Ville Husso.
What is the deal with? Why are they so intrigued about Phil? Did he do something to them when he was with the Blues that made them very impressed?
No, that's just something going. I don't understand what is happening in Detroit right now, where they keep bringing in all these Band-Aid goaltenders and not rocking with their stud prospects and letting them get this experience while they're still battling for a wild card spot or still on the bubble of being a wild card team. This is the time to do it. I'm fine with Cam Talbot. He's been good enough. But let Sebastian Casa back him up. Let's stop with the Ville Husso shit Put him on
you're not
waivers,
gonna
send him back to the
make the
AHL,
playoffs
and
with
let
that guy in
Sebastian
goal.
Casa take over that starting job.
Yeah, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna get to the playoffs with Billy Huso in goal.
And pretty much to piggyback off of what you said earlier, Brad, I highly doubt the Red Wings were ever impressed by anything the Blues ever did. So, including winning the Stanley Cup.
What the what are they doing? Just don't get it.
Oh man. Let's see here. SJM saying it may be controversial to some hockey loyalists, but Ovechkin greater than Crosby. Just
In ways.
saying. I mean, Ovechkin as a goal scorer, he is unbeatable. I mean, pure goal scoring, he outclasses everybody. I think though the thing about Ovechkin, and this may be unpopular to some people, is I think Ovechkin took a little bit for him to fall into the leader role. I think it was, and it took a little bit longer for him to get used to being the guy. Whereas I think Crosby was just expecting it at that point, and he was used to it at that point because he had been that way throughout his entire playing career from juniors going into the NHL. It had always been he's the guy to lead the team, he's the guy to push everything around him, basically.
The difference between the Penguins and the Capitals with regarding Crosby and Ovechkin. Crosby, I mean, yes, Ovechkin had who was the center they had? Backstrom, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Crosby had what's his name? Malkin. Okay,
Yeah.
but in goal they had Marc-Andre Fleury. Now I know that for 1 or 2 years, Washington's goalie, I can't remember his name now.
Well, they had a few.
Superb. No, the one that they won the Stanley Cup with. He was superb for like one.
Holtby.
He had
Holtby.
Yeah, Holtby. Yeah. Because I remember the fans in the Garden used to get on his skates all the time. But he had one really great year, the year they finally won the Cup. When he stood on his head and they won that 6-game series against Pittsburgh, and then went on and beat Vegas for the Cup.
I don't necessarily 1,000% agree. Holtby had some pretty good years there. I think the problem is that
but he always choked in the playoffs.
That's the thing. Like he would have great regular seasons, and then that playoff would roll around, and things would fall apart. And I think the whole team would just fall apart, or they would would fail to get that clutch goal when they needed it.
Fleury always was there, and the 1 year he wasn't, Murray played out of his mind.
And then
Murray was the Nick Foles or Jeff Hostetler, if you would, of the NHL. I mean, he came out, was incredible.
SJM. Same, Brad, the real Garden is Boston Garden, greater than MSG.
Stop. Please, at least we never named our building after a bank. Okay, so stop. Come on.
So I'm going to go with the very unpopular opinion and say that Crosby's better. Just overall. Better leader, better player, made everybody better. Didn't need to rely on one specific player to make him good. That's my take. And did he cry a lot in the league when he first came in here? Yeah.
Still does.
There's no doubt. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
When you have that power and that ability, you take advantage of it. I don't blame him for doing it.
David's always crying too. So I mean,
well, that's my point. That's exactly my point.
No, I'm agreing with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're in that position where you have that kind of power and that kind of influence, I would do the same thing. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Ovechkin. Ovechkin and his greatness and his goal scoring ability, second to none. One of the heaviest shots I think I've ever seen in the NHL.
Tough as nails too.
Bri, the Prism saying, "Stop with your shit, Billy." From you on January 14th of 2025. Today.
I misquoted, but yes.
And then followed up by Billy. "Stop with what shit, Brian?" You follow up with existing. And then
Pretending you're an NHL goaltender.
and then Prince is saying, "Now I feel bad for Billy. Stop bullying him, Brian."
I'm not bullying him. The man makes like 15 times what I make a year.
Why
You
are they
still bully
blaming
him,
you? Why
though,
are they
just 'cause-
blaming Brian? I was bullying him too.
No, Billy is not Billy.
Let
Billy,
me have equal
he's a
share
backup.
of this. Damn it!
He's a backup. He's send him
Brad-
elsewhere. Bye.
I love
Bye.
how Brad's mad because he's not being included in this. It's like Brad's just like, hey, I deserve some of this shellacking too from
Right.
Priz.
I deserve
I'm
some of this as
bullying
well.
him, too.
Not
Yeah, I mean, I said he is a bum. Come on.
I didn't say he was a bum. I just said he shouldn't be in Detroit.
He must have naked photographs of somebody's wife or something that he gets to keep playing all the time.
Or
are we talk-
Stevie
talking
Y just
Who's though?
not sure about Casa yet.
What are we talking? What were we talking about? Patrick Sharp and Patrick Kane stealing each other's wives? Is that what we're talking about now?
Here
All
we
of
go.
a sudden,
Oh man. So back to Ovechkin.
what? It's not my fault. The Blackhawks had a habit of doing that. Apparently,
Yep.
So
Anyway.
back to Ovechkin. To me, this is why I kind of top Crosby over Ovechkin, and this isn't taking anything away from the future all-time goal scorer. Ovechkin finds his spot and he parks. He's extremely one-dimensional. He is very good at doing that, and nobody's figured out a way to stop him. So why don't fix what's not broken, right? But to me, Crosby makes everybody on his line better. He can score from any position on the ice. He doesn't have to park in one area, and he's just he affects the game in just a different way. And that to me is why I will always pick Crosby over Ovechkin. It's a very tough call.
Ovechkin does go to the net sometimes, though.
No, he does.
He gets a lot. He gets.
I will say
he gets
this.
He gets a lot of close in tip-ins and knocks in shots that are right near the net. I mean, he does do that. Not on the power play though.
Him and Stamkos park in that circle, and they just wait for the one-timer.
Well, that is still true, but
Yeah.
I will say this though. One thing we have to give Ovi this: he has grown as a player over time.
1,000%. I'm not saying anything in a negative way.
Yeah,
Because Ovi is, we're watching history with him. We're never going to see this again.
Absolutely.
At least in our lifetime.
And on top of it as well, as a captain, I think he's come a long way as a leader on the team. Like I said, at first you could definitely say that Ovi was a selfish player, that he was all about scoring and he could care less about what was going on around him. In his early days, that was a very big criticism that got thrown at him, and that was an understandable criticism.
Yeah, don't get it twisted, Maddie. I'm not calling him selfish by any, and I probably have called him selfish on the show in the past at some point.
Yeah, but that was back when it was a relevant thing to talk about,
we've been doing this show for 10 years. It's been I'm sure I've called him selfish at some point.
He was so bad playing defense that Dale Hunter practically benched him for what was it? There was a playoff series against the Rangers years ago that the Rangers won. I think it was the one that they won in 7 when Kreider scored the goal in overtime. When they were down 3-1. And Ovechkin was playing no defense at all in that series. And Hunter wouldn't play him.
Yeah, I remember that series, and I remember it because I knew it when it was going to happen. When the Rangers won Game 5 or Game 6, I was like, "Oh, yep, it's going to happen. The Caps are blowing this one," and they absolutely did.
And they at 1-0 in overtime. And you know what? I think everybody in the Garden, every Ranger fan, because I was we had gone to a Yankee game, my buddy and I, and we were listening to the radio. I said, listen, if neither team can score, eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be a rebound and Kreider will knock it in. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm not bashing Ovi like I used to, because there's really no reason to bash him anymore. Because, again, we're witnessing history right now that, again, may never happen in our lifetime again. So that being said, Ovi is the grade 8. But to me, what makes Crosby better is his more all-around ability versus what Ovechkin does. To me, Ovechkin is just offensive mindset with some physicality in the offensive zone. Dude can hit, and he can hit hard.
I do like this
But
description.
he's very
Prism
offensive
says.
minded, where Crosby is probably one of, if not the best 200-foot player in the game right now.
Prism hit it right on the nose.
Right. Ovi is a tank with a Corvette engine. I love that
Yeah,
description.
That's right.
That's nice. That's nice.
So
So,
that's nice.
by the way, Heather's saying, Brian, you know how we feel when I talk about my boys versus your birds? That's how I feel. That's how I'm feeling now with you giving props to Crosby.
When I found out she was a Cowboys fan, I said the same thing verbatim. I said, "Oh no."
You know what's funny? I still find that hilarious meeting Flyers fans that are also Cowboys fans. Like, how does this happen? But then again, one of our great brothers here at A2D is one of them. So you know what? I can't really knock it at the end of the day. Love you, Robbie. Miss you.
Me?
You're not a Cowboys fan now,
What?
are you?
I'm not. No, Brad was pointing up.
That was my daughter came down the steps. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That actually was
Oh.
inadvertently hilarious.
I was about to say, you know better, Brad.
Brad was literally giving you a heart attack right there on the spot.
No, I'm sorry. No,
I almost had to retire from A2D right then and there.
Brian got branded as a traitor. He had no
You know
choice
what?
but to retire.
Priz is going to take this and run, this son bitch.
Listen, you're allowed to make statements that, you know, that's just an opinion. That doesn't mean you like the guy. I mean, you'd be just as happy if somebody brought a pair of brass knuckles in the ring and knocked them in the head.
Like Logan Paul does.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. By the way, Pris says he lives 35 minutes away from the Cowboys and Ranger stadiums, and he's never been in the Cowboys stadium, which is interesting.
I would love to go to the Rangers ballpark. I wanted to go so badly to the old one, but I'll take the new one. The new one looks nice.
It does. But the old one wasn't even that old. It seemed like they just moved into that place.
It felt like it. I mean, what was it? Maybe the 90s, 80s or 90s when they moved in there, or something like that, right?
Well, they played in that place in Arlington, which was a dump, and then they moved into that other the next one. Didn't seem they were there that long. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I'm gonna check that real quick while we get ready to wrap up here.
Chris says, I only went to the new one for a Rancid concert. I will say that is a very good concert to go to. Good choice. But anyway, I will say this, though. One thing I did accomplish, by the way, which these gentlemen might know. Now I'll let the fam know. I did actually wind up going to an Eagles game for the first time in my life a couple of weeks ago. So I did get the opportunity to see what it's like to be at Lincoln Financial Field for what it's actually made for. I've been there 2 times prior to that. One time to go see Metallica, and then the other time to go to WrestleMania. But I had never actually gone to it for the Eagles until about a week ago to watch them absolutely pummel the Giants. So...
doesn't everybody?
Yeah, apparently that's not much of an accomplishment.
No, not anymore.
All right, so real quick before we start getting ready to wrap it up here. So Rangers moved out of Arlington Stadium in '93, moved into the ballpark in Arlington in that same year, and then so this is not even 30
so they
years
were
later.
there almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't that long. It was long. It didn't seem like it though.
No, not at all.
Hey, give a shout out though to Benny before we close out. He's going to be there this Sunday for a playoff game for the Eagles and Rams. It looks like so.
I would love to go, but I have no money. I'm broke.
Just get a season ticket hold. Just wait for the season
but
tickets.
All the season tickets that. The people that I know that have them, they're all going.
Well, just beg. Maybe they'll let you in.
Man, I begged the one of them. He backhanded me and told me to go away.
It's a little harsh, but okay.
Back off me, peasant.
All right. I just bitch slapped you like the Eagles are going to bitch slap the Rams. But anyway.
It was weird. He put like powdered sugar or something on the back of his hand first. He pin slapped me. Boom.
Were you giggling afterwards?
No, I was in shock and awe. So you know the scene in Home Alone 2 where Catherine O'Hara slaps
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. That's kind of how it was, like fighting back tears, like lip was trembling.
Did you follow that up by saying, "Do bundle up? It's awfully cold outside."
That's actually what he told me.
Oh,
You're damn right, Prez.
Bougie Brian spent all his money on playoff sweaters.
I have 2 Flyers jerseys I have to get lettered that are real jerseys, and they were $180.
Well, that's how you know they're authentic.
Actually, that's not true. I spent $180 on both because my work discount is amazing.
Sounds like it. Nice.
The reason why I'm getting back on the ice.
There you go. There you go. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank everybody out there in the fam who was watching and enjoying this one. Priz is recommending you get one of Adam Oates, one of the most underrated players of all time in the NHL.
He's going to be doing an autograph session, I think, in where was it?
Really?
Check Rave the Auto. I know he's doing a show where you can do mail order. So if you got a jersey, send it to the place and you'll get it signed.
Really?
Send a number there if it's cheaper postage, and just get the number signed, and then when you get it put on the jersey, you're all set.
There you go.
I still have to decide who I'm putting on them. I haven't decided yet. Probably going to go old school. I just haven't figured out who yet. I think Desjardins going to be one.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, we thank everybody for joining us once again here on Flyers Talk A2D, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you got any aches and pains, you know who to hit up. Dr. Paul Vidal over at Specialized Physical Therapy. Next week, let me just double check. Oh, that's right. I better take a quick look here. I forgot to update my calendar. Sorry, guys. So next Tuesday on the 21st, we do have a game. It'll be the Red Wings and the Flyers. Ooh.
Don.
Don. Hi. How are you? We're seeing you next week, buddy. So that will be next week.
Is our buddy Billy Huso going to be in the net?
I hope. If he's given up,
also known as the open window.
If that's the case, I'm going to guarantee a win on Tuesday.
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you right now, if he's giving out goals like candy, I will be more than happy to see Huso in that net. So, with that being said, we will see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. For everyone out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and since we won't see you guys until after ASCOM, happy Martin Luther King Day early in advance, and we'll see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Peace and love, everybody.